All right, so we've now learned how to move around inside of NetRW. It's pretty nice, right? We've now did a little bonus extra learning with some window movements. Fantastic. But honestly, if you wanted to explore, do you think you'd want to press :VEX every single time to open up a file explorer every time you wanted to do it? My guess is no. No, you would not. No. And why? Because it's just like, it's inconvenient. It would be a lot of typing. It's 5 characters just to open up a file explorer. So if only there was a way that this could be easier. If only a way we could shorten it up and make it the way we want it. Oh wait, we can. It's Vim, right? So let's jump back and let's all open up our vimrc together. Now this is where it's going to get a little bit goofy, but bear with me. It's pretty fun. It's pretty fun. This is where you really start to take control of Vim. And this moment right here is going to help you use plugins. It's going to help you personalize Vim. It's going to help you do a bunch of things that you want to do. And you really should get into this mentality where every time something feels inconvenient or you don't like it, you make it the way you want it. All right, so let's go all the way down. Remember, you can just press G to go all the way down to the bottom, or you can press J a whole bunch, or I guess I could have pressed 8J, gone all the way down. Let's press O to insert a new line, hit an extra enter. There we go, we're rocking. And now I'm going to type in a couple items. And this is going to get a little confusing for a second, but I'll explain them. The first thing I'm going to do is called a map leader. All right, and I'm going to just set that to a blank space. The next thing I'm going to do is going to be a remap. I'm going to go n-nor map. Then I'm going to go leader pv vex cr. Now that is a lot of stuff I just got done typing all at once. And you're probably thinking, okay, what do these mean? You might be able to start guessing what they kind of mean, but let's go over it one at a time. So first, what is a map leader? A map leader effectively is you telling Vim, hey, I have a special key I would like to press, and from henceforth it shall be known as leader, right? That means if there's plugins that say, hey, we'll provide you some easy movements by pressing leader K, it will just work for you because you've set that key, the leader key. And so I've defined the leader key as a space. So meaning when I press space, I am now pressing the leader key. And that means when I use it in Remaps, it will be known as that. So it's kind of like a way to name a key, and it can be whatever key you want. So let's break down this line. This line was particularly confusing, and honestly, I didn't even read for like 5 minutes to figure out what this line meant. I just knew that that's what you did, and you copied and pasted all over the place. So let me kind of explain this a little bit more. There's actually 4 parts to this. And so I'm going to break it up in that sense. And then these two kind of go together. So first, what does the first N mean? Well, the first N means the mode you're in. That means I could have used V for visual mode, I for insert, C for command, T for terminal. There's a couple other ones, but for now we're just going to focus on N, V, and I. N being normal mode, or the mode you're in where you can move around. So that means I'm saying, hey, it's on this mode. Next, this NOR. This NOR is actually pretty straightforward. It means no recursive execution is how I look at it. That's how I say it in my head, or NOR. Effectively, what it means is that if you don't include this, if we were to remove that part, your remap, the other side, could execute more remaps. Now that may sound a little bit confusing, but it can totally do that. And I'll show you here in one moment. This last part, map, is just saying, hey, it's a map command. Then leader is a space for me. It could be whatever key you want. I would highly recommend getting used to space. Some people use commas. There's a reason why I don't like using commas. Use space, use whatever, and then I do PV. I just chose two letters at random. Project view. I want to do project view when I want to see my file tree. So I'm going to go space PV to see the file tree. And this is called the left-hand side. This thing right here is called the left-hand side. This is the set of keys I'm going to press to remap. The right-hand side, or this side, is what will be executed when the left-hand side is typed. That means I can replace anything. If I don't like P pasting, I can make P do what I want it to do. Don't recommend it, but you can. So let's look at this. So on the right-hand side, I'm going to go from normal mode. Remember, we're in normal mode. I'm going to go into command mode. I'm going to type in VEX. And then remember, as I said in the beginning in the abbreviation section, CR is enter. So I'm going to execute an enter. So I'm literally just going to type the command in and press enter. So let's test it out. Let's see how this feels. So what we're going to do is we're going to source this file. So to source this file, everyone should be able to do this. Type in :SO, stands for source, and %. % is a shorthand for saying my current buffer's file. So I'm going to hit enter. So there we go. We have sourced this file. We've re-executed our vimrc, and now I should be able to press leader PV. Look at that. It's open. It just opens right for me. It's exactly the thing I want to do. It's a lot easier than typing vex. I can type it super fast because I'm very, very used to it. As opposed to 5 characters, it's 3 characters. 3 characters is like the maximum optimal length for a remap. Anything beyond that, it gets really hard to build up that fast muscle memory. But that is like a really nice kind of way to go about things. Now you can choose whatever makes sense for you. You can have, leader T. Why not? It's yours. Don't tell me how to let you live your life, right? But there are some things that are a little bit dangerous about remaps. So I'm going to do something that's kind of fun. But before we do that, let's look at what recursive execution means. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to delete out the NOR, and I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete the rest of this, and I'm going to type in, let's do XX will remap to YY. And let's do that in insert mode, right? And then I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to say that Y equals ZZ. And I'm going to say that Z equals AA. So when I press XX, it's going to remap it to be YY. And when I press Y, it's going to remap it to be ZZ. And when I press Z, it's going to be AA. So let's source it. Whoopsies. Let's source it right now. So now that I've sourced it, here's one thing that's kind of weird, is since I've already sourced a file with leader PV, it still works. Leader PV still works because it's still there because we haven't restarted Vim, but it's no longer in there. So remember, as you execute, whatever commands you execute, stay alive for the life of your Vim unless if you replace them. So now if I go into normal mode or insert mode, which I'm here, if I press Y, it does AAAA because it did 2 Z's, and Z's were recursively executed into A's. If I do XX, it does all of that. It does all these A's, right? But also notice something different. When I press X, it appears after my cursor for a moment. Do you see that? That's because Vim is allowing you to have a moment to do the remap. You may have remaps it needs to do, so it doesn't want to interrupt you, but it gives you only a fraction amount of time, like a part of a second. So I'm going to close. I'm going to erase this because that's just don't actually do that to yourself. That seems like really inconvenient, right? I'm going to go NOR right here. There we go. We're back to normal. I'm going to close down Vim for a quick second, reopen up this so I no longer have that weird X, Y, Z, A thing that was going on there. And I'm going to look at these, and we're going to try something different. I'm going to yank, right? So I just yanked a line right there. Now I'm going to paste it. I can totally paste it, right? Well, let's just say I use space to move forward. Watch what happens when I press space. Do you see that lag? Why did it lag? It's because my leader key is the space bar. It's giving me a brief moment to execute a command as opposed to do its original command, its default command, which is to move over to the left 1. Space is equivalent to L. L and space do the same thing. The only difference is that space is my leader key. So it's going to take a moment to actually execute, which means that if I did space P, it would first go up. Is he going to do V? Is he going to do it? No, he didn't. I'm going to move over 1, and then I'm going to paste. Right? So it did the original command, but it gave me time to press V. So there's always a little bit of risk if you don't type fast enough with these type of remaps, especially on P, because you will end up pasting content you didn't mean to if you're too slow to execute. Or something that's even worse, if you remap something that looks like this, just PV to go into it. Let me source this. When I go to try to paste something, I'll go paste. OK, there it is. Wow, that took way too long. It's because I remapped P, which is the paste button, to do something else, but only part of the paste button. So remaps can be both awesome, and you can accidentally shoot yourself in the foot. So, be thoughtful. That's why I always have a leader key or a control or something that's a little bit unique for me to press to be able to start the process. Like, I don't navigate with spacebar. If you navigate with spacebar, that's crazy, right? Like that's way too inefficient. Just I'm gonna walk over here. Like, you would never want to do that. Instead, you want to be able to just move as fast as possible. So that's why I chose it. Hopefully everyone liked this little moment. Hopefully it demystified kind of how these remaps work. Because honestly, there's just a lot of questions that go on. A lot of people don't realize how simple, yet how dangerous these things can be if you don't understand them. All right, awesome. So hopefully the people in the chat and the Zoom call that are a little bit more experienced just learned something during all this. They're starting to get some momentum here. Things are getting a bit more complicated, which is ultimately what we want to do. So we're going to make some edits to our VimRC, and we're going to be coding. Now, what you don't want to have to do every single time is that, all right, I've made some edits to my VimRC. I'm going to quit. I'm going to reopen up Vim. Oh, yay, everything's working. So let's add one more remap. Now, hopefully, here shortly, when I say these things, you're going to be like, remap. Awesome. But for now, I'm going to keep cueing you until it gets into your brain. So I'm going to go all the way down. I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste it. Oh, my goodness. See, I forgot to take out that leader key. Look how slow that is. Oh, it's painfully slow. So let me get rid of all this. Let me put in the leader, right? And now I actually do have to, I don't know why that went so slow. I'm going to reset it just because P was already being used. I'm going to take this. I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to make something for me. I'm going to go, every time I press leader CR, as in leader enter or space enter for me, I am going to go shout out, and then I'm just going to go straight to my VimRC, right? FG and Vim init.vim. There we go. So every single time I press leader enter, I'm going to source my VimRC. So right now, if I try to do it right now, notice nothing happens. It's because I haven't sourced it yet. So let's source it. Oopsies. Let's source it that one last time. Shout out %, as I always say it in my head. Now when I press space enter, notice what it says right in my command bar right there. It says SO and the path to my init vim. There we go. I just made something go to my init vim and do it. So that means if I add something else, let's go imap x to yy. If I do that, I can go space enter and press X. And it should, oh my goodness, why didn't that work? Hey now, did I forget to save you? I think it's just because I forgot to save it. There you go. I did actually just forget to save it. There we go, awesome. I can now just source it without having to leave or manually type it in or be in my VimRC and use the %. I can just press 2 buttons and have it all sourced for me. It's pretty convenient. Also, I just think it's pretty neat because every now and then I edit my VimRC and, right? You hate to do that.